Hey traders, trading like it's hot, it's possible, and I'm here to show you how I do it. You ready? Let's get started. So first off, we're going to take a look here at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Definitely the best starting place when you're looking at your trading position. Right here, what we can see is that the Dow is basically in a V-shaped upswing here. Last year was a rough year as far as the market. It essentially went down all year until we got here to around uh, September, October, which is where we saw it bottom out here. Um, Personally, I think that we are seeing upturn for the best here. As you can see with this V shape, I'm expecting us to get somewhere near 36K on the Dow before we hit the resistance mark, which might send us back down. And for me personally, I use the Dow to help me with long-term strategy, to help me with which direction I'm trading in, whether or not I'm doing buys, whether or not I'm shorting the market. All of that, I tend to lean on the Dow for. There's some other factors like earnings, how a particular company is doing, what's in the news, things of that nature. However, the Dow is a really good picture of the overall market, and uh, things tend to move with the Dow for the trading day. Even sometimes, if a company is underperforming, if the market is doing good, uh, then you can see that stock raise. So there are a number of different things that goes into why or why not you may want to go with a particular stock or not go with a particular stock. So uh, we'll try and talk through some of those things in a number of these videos, but the main point I'm making here is for me and my trading strategy, the Dow is super, super important. Right now, with the V shape in the upward trend here, this is all buy time here. Of course, when you're at the bottom here, you're not seeing a V shape at that point. So what I look for is inflections in the market. I use these charts to see big shifts, big changes, things of that nature. You also want to definitely look for patterns, things to because things tend to repeat themselves from a charting perspective. You look for resistance in the downturns and for breaks in those patterns. For example, if you look here at this particular line, all the way from January of 2022, you did not see anything go over the top of this pattern until we got here in October 2022. Now that's a good sign, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the market is ready to continue being continuation. A good sign that we're in continuation right now is this support level being held as the market pushed back down and hit this area here. It is continuing to kind of bounce here and establish more support. Um, so I'd look for this to continue in this pattern. And like I said earlier, get to about 36 is probably where it's headed there. Now it could easily stop here somewhere around this area. As you can see, some resistance developing here. But usually, if it's it's proving to be in more of an uptrend right now than the downtrend. It had the power to stop its downward motion and kind of turn back up. That's usually a pretty good sign. Uh, Last year, when the market was on its way down, uh, a big part of kind of seeing that trend happen is believing what you see on the chart. When you see the market literally shift direction, as you saw a big uptrend that for most of the previous year, and when you saw this big drop, and it play around here for a while and get in consolidation for a couple months. One thing that gave me a sign that we were probably in for a good long um, dip in the market was the Dow. If the Dow is pointing in the down direction like it was here, you can probably you know bet that it's going to continue to go in that down motion, especially when you see it hit the resistance and continue to get pushed back down each time. So the same thing works on the upside. You're in this V shape and you're on the upside. You see it hit this bottom, boom, come back toward the top. That was actually a really sharp climb up. You've seen that before here, and it went back down. However, when it went down this time, it immediately went back down. There was it didn't build up any um, resistance or anything. It shot back down pretty quickly. This time, it actually went over this area that it hadn't been able to get through, and it has built some support here. Now that doesn't mean that it's going to definitely stay over this area, but there's a much better chance of it staying over this area and continuing on now than it was uh, over on this side when it clearly proved that it was going directly straight back down. Uh, and there was also, when it did this, there was also no V-shaped support for it to continue moving up. But you actually have on this side V-shaped support now that it's going in the right direction. So um, that's basically uh, what I'm looking at here as far as being in a buy state for me. Uh, this is really good from a buy standpoint. Now, the other piece to add to that is industry. You'll notice that with the market, when one thing in a particular industry is doing well, seems like all of them tend to do well. If it's the car manufacturers, if that's a fantastic day in the market, you can almost pretty much buy them all. Especially if you're day trading those, or if you're day trading or something like that on that day, those things are going to pretty much coincide with each other. But that also happens for the long-term trade as well. If it's time for automotive to do well, all the automotives are likely going to be doing well. If it's time for banks to do well, all of the banks are likely going to be doing well. So definitely something to consider. Again, this is all advice as you see these advertisements pops up. I love using TradingView. That's my favorite thing to use. I also use Active Trader Pro, which you'll see some videos come out about using Active Trader Pro and Fidelity, which is probably my favorite investment firm is Fidelity, followed by E-Trade. I like E-Trade as well, but Fidelity is probably my go-to. Um, Great charting on Active Trader Pro as well. Uh, but TradingView kind of has probably the more powerful set of tools and things of that nature that I like to use. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this uh, short video here on the DOW, and how I come up in, like, the first thing that I use when I'm trying to come up with my strategy for long term direction of the market, and whether I'm buying or whether I'm a buyer or a seller uh, in the marketplace.